This morning, we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month by highlighting the history and contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans. Fox News correspondent Brian Yenes joins us with more. Hey, Brian.
Ainsley, good morning. It's a story that's only possible in America. Just over a decade after immigrating to the United States, Dr. Franklin Chang Diaz found himself strapped inside a space shuttle for his first launch as a NASA astronaut. This Hispanic Heritage Month, we honor his commitment and his courage.
3, 2, 1. We have ignition and liftoff.
It's a tremendous ride, very strong forces, a lot of vibration, a lot of shaking, and then all of a sudden, everything stops.
What is it like to be up there?
What you see is the most beautiful thing you ever saw. You see this planet in all its glory.
Retired NASA astronaut Franklin Chang Diaz grew up in Costa Rica, where he dreamt of someday rocketing into space.
When I was on the Columbia, just getting ready for liftoff, I thought to myself, I've done this before. It's just exactly the way we did it when we were little kids.
Chang Diaz was one of 6 children. He was born in 1950, the start of the space age.
My friends, we used to play astronauts in a big cardboard box. That was our ship.
After high school, Chang Diaz came to the United States with just $50 in his pocket and the dream of becoming an astronaut. He lived with family in Connecticut and got a scholarship to the University of Connecticut, where he studied mechanical engineering, then physics at MIT. He became a U.S. citizen.
In 1980, I was fortunate enough to be selected by NASA to become the first Hispanic American astronaut, and that was an extraordinary moment for me. Changed my life forever.
During his 25-year career, he became one of only 2 astronauts to fly 7 space shuttle missions.
We still wake up with smiles in our faces.
And he was the 2nd astronaut to log more than 1,000 hours in space, just behind his friend, Dr. Jeffrey Hoffman.
It was really nice, having been friends for so many years, to both reach 1,000 hours together on the same flight. Franklin is intellectually brilliant. As a person, he's extremely modest.
Chang Diaz eventually logged more than 1,600 hours in space, including more than 19 hours during several spacewalks outside the International Space Station. During one, he was attached to a robotic arm that malfunctioned in the vacuum of space.
I found myself all alone at the end of this, 50 feet arm, wondering what in the world was going on. So all of a sudden, the Earth sort of disappeared, and I couldn't see the station behind me. And it was a very strange moment. Eventually, the arm got fixed, and I went about the rest of my work.
After every mission, Chang Diaz would take the crew on celebration trips to his birth country.
It's like being on a tour with a rock star. Everybody in Costa Rica knows Franklin.
In 2012, Chang Diaz was inducted into the NASA Astronaut Hall of Fame.
I'm actually today most thankful to this great nation that in 1968 opened the doors for me to the American dream. And I can say that I fulfilled that dream.
He is now the founder of Ad Astra Rocket Company.
Can you explain in layman's terms what it is that you're doing and what your company is trying to accomplish?
To be able to move so fast that you can say, imagine a mission to Mars in a matter of maybe 2 months, instead of the better part of a year that it takes today to get to Mars.
The rocket engine could be ready to fly in 3 years.
This is probably the most important message to young people, is to be not afraid, to take the risk, and don't be afraid of failure. Failure is a requirement for success.
Franklin Chang Diaz, an American hero who inspired and paved the way for 11 other Latinos who eventually became NASA astronauts. Ainsley?
What a beautiful story. Thank you, Brian.